We are here at the Wall in Los Angeles with one of my good friends, dating all the way back many moons ago in New York City, where I used to take her classes at Equinox. Ooh, that was a little while ago. But guess what? She's the Benjamin Button of fitness. She looks younger than ever. And Lacey, so glad to have you on the podcast.
I'm so happy to be with you. I love you, man.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really great. I got a lot going on. Working with my virtual training platform, with the TV and the fitness and the clients, and being a good friend and being a good daughter. It's a lot.
And a sister.
Life is a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But you seem to be handling it quite well. And you have to see her outfit today. She is very, very bright.
Yes.
She's fitness chic. I must say that. Very, very fashionable and trendy as always.
Athleisure. That's what they call it.
Athleisure. Excuse me.
You can work out in it and then wear it on the streets.
So Lacey, you have a very interesting story of how you kind of moved into celebrity fitness and all that you are doing now. I know that you played basketball in college. Can you give us a little bit of background of kind of how you segued it to where you are today?
Sure. I mean, I was an athlete my whole life. I love sports. I love it so much. And I love the word team. And I think that people use it and they don't even understand what it is. It's teamwork, that word. People are like, oh, teamwork. It's actually a team working together. And I find that people don't understand that. So when my basketball career ended, I decided I wanted to train. My specialty is training people in large groups as if they were a basketball team, essentially.
Yes, I remember.
And yes, and I teach them to communicate with each other. If you run into someone, don't just not be present within the workout, and get to know each other within the workouts so that you're coming to visit your friends. You're not just coming to work out, and it's an experience. And the better you do, the better your friend does. The happier you are, you bring in more friends, the more fun the workout is, and then it's a whole thing.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I got into it like that. It became wildly popular in New York. Then I got into, Nike signed me on to help them. And then it kind of exploded after that.
Really? So
fitness.
So when you played basketball in college. Mm-hmm. So, kind of going down that path, was there a moment in which you said, hey, I'm going to now pivot away from playing basketball? And why did you make that choice? Out of anything you could have done, was it just your love of sports and kind of creating it that way, or?
Well, actually, I had a really bad coach, and I've had bad coaches as an athlete, and I actually allowed them to take the joy out of playing basketball. So it was my choice to walk away from it. And I'm an athlete.
Right.
It is the core of who I am. So, what got me back into it is I lived in New York and I had to pay the bills and I wanted to work out. So I went to Equinox and I was like, I'll be a trainer here so I can work out.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
There you go.
And I saw what I could do for my clients. And then there was a moment where I was like, I could be the coach for people that I never had. I could help them believe in themselves even when they don't. And that's what I needed from my coach. And in the moment when I saw the sparkle come back into my players, I look at them as players on my team in their life. I knew I had found what I wanted to do.
So was it, when you look at the gap, because one of the things I always say in life, every situation's kind of, you're dealt with, you take a learning from it, and mm-hmm. hopefully, you don't want to become that person, but also you don't enable that behavior or those things to happen again, if it's a mistake or situations mm-hmm. and those sort of things. So, now that you're your own coach and you are the coach.
That's right. America's coach.
Yeah, exactly. So what was it that you weren't receiving from your coaches, and what was it that you learned from, that later on could be applied to all walks of life?
I just think my greatest successes and everything I would do have actually been my greatest failures. So because I was able to overcome them, and then you get stronger from that experience. I got divorced. Sometimes people think that's the end of life. And, for my clients, actually, I wanted to be a superhero. So I was like, I'm going to get through this divorce so you can see. In fact, Tiffany, my COO of my company, she, we met on Revenge Body, and she was going through a horrible divorce. And I had gone through that divorce, so I could look her in her eyes and train her not only physically, but mentally as to what she could do to overcome the emotional obstacles. And when she did that, it also helped her physically. I find that your body starts in the mind. It doesn't start in the gym. It starts in your mind. So I think that's something that my coach taught me, was that she did not motivate me in the way that I needed it. Trainers sometimes don't get that. They yell at you because they think that that's motivating. What's motivating for me, that I learned from her being a bad coach and not understanding me, I'm sensitive. I don't want to be yelled at. She needed to tell me that it would be okay. And these were my strengths, and we'll work on your weaknesses, but I think you're great. You can't imagine what that does for a person when you believe in them. Yeah, having some sort of empathy as to what they're going through, and then reminding them that there's a ton of good, because I think, in today's environment, especially, and it's always been this way, but with social media and those sort of channels, it's very pervasive. It's very easy to focus on all that is bad and the negative, and we forget to go back and kind of reassure ourselves of all the good that we are doing, or the talent that we do have. I like looking in this guy's eyes. You're a good guy. Oh, thank you. You have good vibes. Vibras. Eyes are the windows to the soul. They are. No, I appreciate it. It's true. So, so now when you go through and you deal with your clients or your players, and you're helping them through situations, how did you come out of that funk? Because I'd imagine it kind of can put you into kind of a tailspin where you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing. You're living in an expensive ass city, New York, and you've got to figure it out. What was it? How does one find their compass again and head north? I mean, that wasn't the only obstacle. You're going to people think they're going to get over an obstacle and then it's going to be all fine and dandy. They keep coming. Right. So you asked me, how did I do that? I've built a muscle, and I can keep overcoming. It becomes easier, these obstacles that we face. And what I found, how did I do that? A lot of people run away, try to run as fast away as they can and not deal. Yeah. And they don't listen. They don't slow down, and they don't listen actually to what's happening inside. They just try to mask it with maybe finding another lover quickly, or drinking it away, or eating it away, or, smoking weed it away, or, you can't run away from your sad. Right. So what I did is people don't understand mental health. Right. I'm not talking necessarily about therapy. I'm talking about you cleaning out the garbage that's painful within your mind. Right. People don't realize how dirty and toxic their thoughts are. Yeah. And it's literally affecting how they're going to get over something that hurt them. Because sometimes when you don't clean that out, you become the hurter, because you're so angry that you take what happened to you, you do to another person. Right. Well, you also justify it as well. You start to mentally say, oh, it's okay behavior. Or the world is not fair anyway, so who cares? Yeah. I see that it's happened to me as well. You're just the world is so unfair. Yeah. I don't know if we can swear on here, but F-bomb. Yeah, you can. F-bomb it. We'd be in trouble if we couldn't. That's right. That's my podcast. So what I found is you need to slow down, and you need to do all the things that are positive. Do all the things, which is eat healthy, work out, don't drink. Try not to drink. Stay healthy, so your mind, be powerful within your body, and then do the things train yourself. If you are really, really sad about something, you need to go to therapy. Yeah. And you need to be honest with the therapist about your feelings. If you're feeling hopeless or suicidal, say those things out loud. People are afraid to do that. Right. I felt that way after my wife left me. I felt, what the hell? What did you do? I lost total trust. Right. I also, I'm a big fan of listening to positive podcasts. Right. Going on vacation and sitting by the beach. That's always a good thing. These are things you can do. These are things that I did. And it's just, you have to wake up every morning and try to take it one day at a time, because you cannot run away from pain. It lessens and it never goes away.
Right.
It will never go away, but you can manage it if you just keep going and don't let the darkness become you.
Yeah. I always say, you can't let things live in your head rent free. Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah. So
it's true.
It's always, there's that. And then the other thing is thoughts are things, right? So what you think is actually going to come to fruition, both positive and negative. So if you're constantly negative, like the world sucks, this is going to happen, it's not fair, it's, this is going to, this person's going to do that. Like it's good. You're going to attract that behavior, as opposed to if you're positive and you're thinking like, I'm going to get through this. I can get through this. I am a good person. I am a valuable person, or I am going to achieve this. And this is how, you're constantly thinking how to mentally push through it.
It sounds hokey pokey and people don't believe it.
Right.
But it is fact.
Yeah.
It is fact.
Yeah. And it's a really interesting thing. And I think that when you look at in today's world, how many people just discount, mental health.
Oh,
and
it's the whole thing.
Exactly. It's the whole kit and caboodle, and when you're tweaking, you can go to fitness and all of that, but it starts, as you said, it's all in your mind, and mental health is the first step of all of it.
What you think is who you are.
Right. No.
So if you don't think you're cool, or you think you're lame, or you think you're not enough.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Or you know what people do?
What?
They think getting a great body is going to make the pain go away, or having a fancy car,
exactly.
or a really pretty girlfriend.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
No.
You're masking it in another way.
Correct.
And you're not being you. I mean, it is interesting. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on something like this, where how many people live their lives to impress others? So, you go buy stuff so that I'll get a compliment from you. And that's and I live to appease everyone else, as opposed to actually listening to yourself and doing what you want to do, or doing what's best for you. It's constantly living because you're afraid of the criticism of anybody else, or you want the accolades from everyone else.
And then the social media really makes it difficult, because we've become these weird marketing machines of happiness.
Yeah.
And it's tricky. Like I think that a large majority of people, and I'm really worried about kids, base their self-worth off of what other people think. And now it's becoming likes.
How many likes they
comments, how many followers you have.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting you say that, because it is kind of a downward spiral. And then when you look at social media, essentially people are like, oh my gosh, look at that couple. Look at that girl. She's so pretty. She's so fit. Oh my gosh, they get to travel the world. Oh my gosh, they have so much money. I can't make that much money. How am I ever going to do it? And you're looking at the highlight reel of everyone, and nobody's looking at the inside and seeing, like, you have shitty days. There's times where you said that you wanted to, kill yourself, or you're like sad, or you feel like you're not going to make it through it, or it's just like you feel like you just want to go in a corner and cry, and that, and people, but we've all been there before, but nobody wants to talk about that, because it's like, I'm Lacey Stone, or I'm Faisal, and you have to be like this person. And then when you actually, get down to your core, a lot of people, everyone is going through shitty stuff. Like everyone has family issues. Everyone has relationship issues, because no relationship is perfect.
No.
Everyone has a death in family. Everyone has, financial troubles at certain points in their life, or concerns, or, everyone has their insecurities, which I think they mask in various ways.
Right. And I think, like me, Tiffany, who I work with, we have been trying to figure out, like, I do love working out, but the main thing is the mental thing. That is like my whole thing. And that is like very hard to put on social media.
Yeah,
like, how do you take a picture of the way that I think? So like now I'm going to use my social more, even today, to give that information out and be more real. And I think Instagram and Facebook, I think these people are very smart. And I think this through it. But this conversation that's happening, I've had with a lot of people, and people don't like it, and Instagram hears it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they're a smart enough company that they do something to help this.
Right.
Because Instagram and all that is not going away.
Right.
And I'm certain that they don't like what's happening either.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I can't imagine they're just,
I mean,
they'd be really shitty people.
The most brilliant people in the world get jobs there. So, and I know some people that work there, and they're trying to come up with some ways that it can be something that's extraordinary, not something that hurts your self-confidence.
So how do you, you have the public persona that is Lacey Stone, and, you're this tough, beautiful athlete, woman, et cetera, businesswoman. I can go on and on and on. How do you, how does it ever break you down to where you feel like you're just tired of having to be this tough person all the time?
No, just kidding.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it was hard for a little bit because when I first started and kind of in LA, and you kind of become your career. Like people, one of my friends started calling me LSF, which is Lacey Stone Fitness.
Yeah.
And I hated it because I'm like, I'm not LSF, I'm Lacey Stone.
Right.
And I'm
only laughing because
I was like,
I had friends that actually, they're like, when we were in New York, are you going to LSF's class? And so that's the only reason why I laugh.
It's great, but you become like your career.
Yeah.
And you when you work all the time, you like lose yourself in LSF. People start calling me LSF. I'm like, what has happened to me?
Yeah.
So
could be Lacey Stone Faisal, then that'd be okay, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're working on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we are a great team. But yeah, I mean, of course. And that's why I think it's really important to love what you do, because you spend like the majority of your life doing it. And for me, my life is very social. In terms of, I see a zillion people all the time reaching out to me all day, all the time. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be around another human being.
Right. You don't want to talk anymore.
No. And most people, they're kind of the opposite. Like they're at work and they're at a desk and then they want to interact at night. Yeah. I'm different, which is sometimes hard to date me because at night I'm like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I had my fun on a bicycle with like 40 people this morning. So the point is that what I do is I rest a lot.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of a time where I don't speak to people. Literally, I'm introverted.
Yeah.
And whoever I'm with, in relationship wise, or even my friends, I'm very honest and communicative in the sense that 3 days per week, I don't want to do anything.
Right.
I know that if I have evening things planned, that I'm going to get a little agitated.
Right.
So I make a point the next week to be certain that I don't have too much going on at night, because I know that when I start to feel rushed and I start to feel like we have this to do and this to do and this to do and this to do, it builds up and I'm not good at my job.
Well, so that's interesting, because essentially what I think you're breaking down is self-awareness.
Yeah.
And you basically, and this is one of the tools where I think a lot of people, they're not honest with themselves. And so, because they don't want to be vulnerable even to themselves, because it's a latent insecurity that they have. And I think once you crack the code on self-awareness, when you need to shut it down because Lacey's tired, or you're having, you're starting to get agitated. So you're, because you're putting yourself out into, places in the evenings where you have no interest in going, just because you've exerted yourself with all of your energy and thoughts and, being present within every moment during the day, with all of your players or,
exactly.
the people,
I got a big team.
Exactly. All the players you have and all the people that you're coaching. And so, do you have any tips for people of how to listen to yourself, or how to be honest with yourself, or does one just have that naturally, or was there like an aha moment, or,
I think in terms of taking care of yourself, it's literally taking care of yourself in the sense that because I use so much positive energy in my life, and because I need to be fit in order to have that energy, I can't be hungover.
Right.
Because if I'm hungover, then I can't give the way that I want to give in my classes and in my career, which is very important to me. Because I know that what I do really helps people transforms people in a way that is beautiful.
Right.
And if I'm not my best self, and if I continue to tell them to do these things and I don't do that,
it's kind of hypocritical.
Then they're not gonna.
It's like having
you can tell
an
when
out of shape
someone's
trainer.
Right.
So you're like, okay.
Right.
Or they're sitting there with the McDonald's cup, and you're like, okay. It's a bit hypocritical.
I think a couple things are when you are so tired. Like that's a tip where be self-aware. You're not supposed to be tired.
Right.
When you're constantly filling yourself up with coffee in order to get through the day, you're masking a tiredness that you need to take care of.
Yeah.
If you start to get sad, that's you're not supposed, no human is supposed to be, that we're not built to be sad.
Right.
It's a continuous thought that you've had over and over again that has made you sad. So you need to be self-aware of that and do the things, the necessary changes that you need to do in order to get out of that place.
Right. That funk.
People think, oh, I'm just sad, but they don't put in the work to be happy.
Right.
You and I we tend to be positive.
Yeah. Positive.
But
happy.
every single day,
yeah,
we work at that.
Right.
And surround yourself with people that make you feel good. There are people, the creatures of darkness.
Yeah.
And if you're around them too much, they will suck the love out of you.
Yeah. I had a good, a gentleman I met. He happened to be on a trip we were doing, down in Cabo with Blue Desert Cabo, Barrett Paul. And, he actually brought up, he's like, there's faucets and drains in your life.
Yeah.
Like it's that easy. Like they're either sucking like everything out of you, or they're pouring so much positivity and energy and love and support and happiness into your life. And those are the two types of people you have.
Such a faucet.
And you shut off the drain.
He's a faucet.
The faucet's here. This is the faucet boss. Anyways, there's.
It's true. It's true. I just think being aware of your feelings, don't shut down your feelings. Feel your feelings. And if they're not positive, that means that you need to take care of something.
Yeah.
And the more that you mask it and let it be that way, the more it's going to become part of you, and the harder it is to get out of it.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is like you look at, you letting it foster, it's probably because you have an insecurity that you're just not, you're not addressing,
or a fear that you're ashamed.
Exactly.
Shame.
Because, like it comes here, and if you just lay out your insecurity, it's like, how can I use that against you? Right. It's like,
that's true.
It's like, what's up? It's like, now what? It's like, you're standing there naked. You're like, hey, here it is. Like, what do you want to say now? Like, right. It is what it is. I'm exposed, those sort of things. One of the other parts that I heard you say are support system around you. So, what does that look like?
We're going to go back to sports.
Yeah.
The Bulls with Michael Jordan, my favorite team ever.
I love MJ. Want to be like Mike.
Right. I want to be like Mike.
For sure.
In my life.
Yeah.
So every day I bring it hard, and I play hard with life. I believe there's personal, professional, and physical. So professionally, I give my all. Maybe sometimes I don't have my all, but at least I did my best.
Right.
Personally, I'm a good boss. I'm a good.
Well, hold on.
I'm a good. I try to be a good boss.
We went to the peanut gallery. It is proven factual.
I try to be, and if you are honest, you communicate. If you have to have transparent relationships with people, so people feel safe to tell you how they feel and not be judged. So that, and then my friends, my family, I'm always trying to be there for people. In terms of Michael Jordan. And then I have a high standard for people in my life.
Right.
You got to deliver. Like Scottie Pippen and Michael.
Yeah.
Tiffany's my Scottie Pippen. She's there. I know she's going to throw me the ball, and I know she'll make the layup when I throw it to her. So I have that kind of person next to me. I have this guy. I have, Alex and, Bender and all these people in my life that make me feel like I'm winning.
Yeah. Your teammates, your support system.
So that's how I look at it. And if someone comes on the team and they don't gel with the team, you can hang out with them alone.
Yeah.
They're a little bit of a drain.
Yeah.
And if they annoy you, you got to cut them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Because there's lots of stars out there.
Exactly. You need to make a trade.
You got to make a trade.
Make them a free agent, whatever you got to do. Pick up somebody.
They can go on someone else's team. Maybe they will fit better on. Yeah.
Go ruin somebody else's team.
Yeah, I'm on the Bulls here, and we're going to win.
I thought of you, just side fact, this morning. So I was watching this ESPN clip, and it was Dennis Rodman.
Oh, God.
And so Dennis Rodman was talking about the Bulls, when he was on the Bulls team, and Michael, Scotty, Ron
Steve
Harper,
Kerr, all of them.
Steve Kerr,
they knew their roles.
Exactly. And then they were comparing it to the Warriors today, and so, they're basically saying, who would win if you look at the Warriors today and the Bulls. And it was pretty funny because, he goes, when you look at Scottie Pippen, he's like, Scottie Pippen's 6'8", could guard anybody.
Right.
So it didn't matter. Like he could shut down anybody defensively. And a lot of people just glossed over that.
Yeah.
And then you look at, him with Draymond. They're like, oh, what about you with Draymond? And he was like, oh, that would be my bitch. Like I would make him my bitch. But he definitively was saying that the MJ Bulls could beat any team or the best team ever. But
no, for sure.
Just jumped into my head thinking about you as you're talking about teams and dynasties and those sort of things.
I think the only one that could rival Michael Jordan is LeBron James, because LeBron James is gigantic.
Yeah. He's a specimen.
He's a big man. With little man skills.
Shaq is a large individual.
But he's slow. But LeBron is like a big man with little man skills.
Yeah.
He could rival him, but I think the way that team was put together, and we're talking about the Bulls a little too long, but
it's okay.
I just think like they let Dennis be who he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't a great shooter. He wasn't anything, but they let him play his role, which he was nuts.
Yeah.
He played crazy defense. He was going to get the rebounds
on the floor. I mean,
he wasn't meant to score.
No.
And he wasn't going to try to score.
No.
He knew that was for Michael.
Right.
And that's why
he knew his role within the team.
He liked making the team win.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Winning was better. Winning as a team was better than the individual accolades.
And that's why that team was great.
Yeah. No, and that's interesting as you look at having a company and a business, and you have to flip that mindset, because it's not just about Lacey Stone or Faisal or here. It's the rest of the team and a larger goal, a larger vision that you're kind of aspiring towards. So, as you've sort of built this fitness empire and your career and businesses and those sort of things, how do you find yourself as a leader, as a CEO, as somebody that has to actually guide a team, not just coaching wise, but now you have to actually be the leader of the team and you have to deal with issues that come up with work? I mean, how does one evolve, from being an athlete into coaching, say, with a bunch of players, to really managing, the fitness empire that you have as a businesswoman?
I mean, that's so interesting, and you evolve as you go. No one just knows how to do it immediately.
Yeah.
But
you didn't just wake up like, I'm a CEO. Like
you read books about it, to understand that. Like Turnkey Business is a really great book that I read. Like a lot of the Gary Vaynerchuk, Crush It. Like these books are fantastic. And then you can't be everything. So know what you're good at, and then find someone that's extraordinary at a thing that you don't know how to do.
Goes back to self-awareness.
Right. It always comes back to that. So and you can't, so that is how I do it. So you delegate things and you find people that are great that you can trust. And then, you give them a little, and then sometimes you let them run with it.
Right.
Then there's other people that you need to micromanage a little bit.
Right.
Or you need to be a better coach to them.
Yeah.
You need to communicate. Maybe your language isn't something that they respond to.
Right.
So you really need to take time to sit down with them and figure out, how can I communicate to you?
What makes them tick?
And how can I let you know what's important to me?
Right.
A big thing in my company is that when you tell someone to do something, you also have to tell them why, so that there is a motivation behind the importance of what they're doing. It's not just an action. We're doing this because to better the world.
Right. As we transition over, what you've done some cool things for friends. Cool. I think it's very interesting. So, I remember reading an article before, and, candidly speaking, my assistant, because she's always looking at who I'm meeting, because one of her, she doesn't know how well I know everyone, so she'll go and send me bios of people and whatnot. I'm like, oh, I know Lacey, you don't have to send me that one, and so she was like, this chick is fucking cool. And she's like, have you seen all the shit she's done? Like, she's a really interesting person. I was like, are we talking about the same Lacey? No, I'm just joking.
Totally. I was like,
but you did something for a friend around eggs.
Around what?
Eggs, giving someone
eggs.
Right. Giving your eggs
How'd
up
you
for
find
something.
that out?
I'm telling you, I actually did not know that until she came and told me all about this thing. And I was like, she's like, I really respect this woman. Like, blah, 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 blah. And she's a tough woman. I can tell you that much. No, but I love her to bits. Can you tell us about what you did? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I had a friend who he wanted to have a baby, and he's a great man. He's gay, so it's not going to happen accidentally. Yeah. It's not going to happen by accident. Yeah. Okay. He's really strong. Like, he won the Tough Mudder. Like, he's a big guy. He's brilliant. He's successful. I thought, if I liked boys, I'd like this guy. You know what I mean? And he wanted to have a baby. And he asked me if he could have my eggs. Yeah. He says, I want an Olympian. I'm like, no pressure. Yeah. So that's why, the genes. So for me, I didn't know if I was ever going to have kids. Mm-hmm. Didn't know if I wanted to in general, but I do know that I am a good person. And right. I do know that I think that the child that I have would be a wonderful child. Right. And I know that he would be a wonderful dad. Right. And I gave him my eggs, and we have a soon to be 6-year-old, and she is a miracle. Yeah. And I'm the type of person that I did it unconditionally. Yeah. Like, I gave him a child. Right. Without any need. Yeah, you didn't. There was nothing. There was no expectation of getting, like, you owe me now. Like, put that one in the bucket, and I'm going to call on it at some point in time. People find that very strange. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why they would think that. Wow, it's like, what crazy. Is that? Yeah. But I did. People find it weird. Yeah. Even at times, he's like a little bit like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yes." Yeah. I will help you whenever you need help with her. Yeah. But she's yours. Yeah. You know? That's interesting. Oh. Giving without expectation is crazy. I was on a conference call today, somebody in the UK, and he was like, "Oh, can you do this or that? Can your company do that?" I was like, "I don't, but I know who can, and I can connect you there." And he's like, "Well, what do you want?" I was like, "Nothing." And he was like, "You don't want to get paid anything from it?" Or he's like, "We can give you a commission." I was like, "Man, I'm going to connect you. Like, if it works, it works. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no expectation." He's like, "That's really weird." And I was like, "Really? It shouldn't be." But it is. It is. It's odd. It's sad. But I think in your case, it speaks to the selflessness of you as a person. And I think that when you look at your core, yes, you have that tough exterior. You just do, of just being a strong, I don't even know that. Woman. I was a chubby kid. Were you? And I was made so much fun of. You were a chubby kid? Oh my God. And you never lose that. Oh yeah. I was very chubby, nerdy, big glasses, frizzy hair. So oh my gosh. And I'm gay. So it was like a tough, sorry, in the Midwest. I'm not laughing at you. It was tough. You just like threw that on there. It's like a lot of tough that I went through. So I actually don't even, like, I'm surprised. When people say that, I'm like, you don't know me then. I'm surprised. But yes, I do have muscles and I'm pretty and whatever people think. But like, I still think of myself as that little girl that got teased. Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, but if you look at that, so getting teased as a child, does it have like an impact on you like forever. Today? Yeah. Does it go away? Yeah. It makes you really kind, I think, because do you remember the little shits that were teasing you? Yeah, I sat alone at lunch, and it was terrible. But then when I see someone sitting alone now, I go sit next to them. You're mindful of it. Yeah, you're like, very mindful of it. I don't allow anyone to sit alone at lunch. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. I love it. It's just honestly, it speaks to the character and who you are. I actually didn't even know that about you. So I keep learning more and more about you. That's where the niceness comes from. I don't want anyone sitting alone at lunch. I really still want to see the frizzy hair though. That's really bad. What I'm into. No, it's not. The glasses, okay. The chubbiness, the glasses are this thick. I'm like legally blind. It's bad. Well, you look great now. That's for sure. So, kind of want to go to, a couple fitness tips. Yeah. And so when you go and, I know we're going to work out together and go through some of this stuff, but, a lot of what people say is, that it's mental. The other part of it is what you eat.
and drink,
right?
Or don't drink. Are there any tips now as we go into summer as to what people should do from a diet standpoint, like simple things, maybe as you're not at home and you're out and about because it's summer and you want to be outside in order to try and stay fit or be healthy?
Yeah. I mean, I think that people don't understand portions.
Yeah.
Like you can eat bad stuff, but don't eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
Portions are huge. And it's like, I'm very old school, like the cavemen and all them. Why did they have these great bodies? Because they ran around and chased their food down. They ate like nuts and meat and vegetables.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
And drink like a lot of water because the air outside is very toxic.
Right.
So you're breathing in toxicity. The vegetables and all that a lot of times is in toxic.
Right.
It's not, it's that thing called global warming.
Yeah.
It's real. So it's really important that you drink a lot of water. And so you constantly feed fuel yourself.
Well, what's like a lot of water? Because I think to a lot of people, it's like, you can actually drink too much, but
really? Yeah. Which is, who does that? But
I would flood yourself.
Like that is like, that kind of a water bottle size, have like 8 of those.
Okay. All right. So
yeah,
like the 8 glasses a day, like those sort of things. Okay.
No, and you're gonna get a lot of exercise because you're gonna have to go to the bathroom a bunch, which is great.
Yeah.
You have to like get up, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I always bring snacks around. Yeah. I'm like a squirrel.
Yeah. But what kind of snacks do you bring? Nuts?
I'm a squirrel.
Okay.
I have tons of nuts.
You weren't kidding.
I am not kidding. I probably have nuts in my bag. I eat about like 3 little bags of nuts when I get hungry. I always have an apple around. I always have 1 bars or some sort of a bar in my car. Yeah. I have a bar in my car.
I have a bar in my car.
I have a bar in my car. And watermelon is really great during the summer to have.
I love watermelon.
It's the best.
Oh gosh.
Like that's a great.
Crush some watermelon.
It's like watermelon. Yeah, there's a lot of water in it. You need to drink water. Fresh fruit in the summer is great. Stay away from pineapple because there's a lot of sugar in it, but melons and berries, and then the base, salad and protein.
Yeah.
Now people are addicted to these negative food, not negative foods. I put that wrong. Unhealthy,
right,
or caloric,
right,
food, because they're used to feeling full.
Yeah.
But actually, when you eat to the point of full, you've eaten too much.
Okay.
You're never supposed to feel full. You're supposed to feel satisfied.
And then continue to
like a caveman, meaning you are going to be a little hungry.
Yeah.
You're always going to be a little hungry, but that keeps you
moving. Like the metabolism moving.
It keeps your metabolism moving. If you numb yourself to the point where you get lethargic, you ate too much. The key is that you're always a little hungry.
Right.
That's part of it.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Part of a great body is you're always just a little hungry.
Water, eat till you're satisfied, nuts,
yeah.
Watermelon, fruits,
protein, vegetables. I mean, you can have some carbs. I eat bread in the morning. That's
whoa. Yeah. Carbs?
Yeah. Like I tend to eat some carbs in the morning.
Yeah.
I work out so much. You need carbohydrates.
Yeah.
You do.
So it's just not overdoing it. Is essentially
portion
what it comes
size.
To. Portion control. So you mentioned that you like to escape and self-reflect, which means you probably go on a vacation somewhere.
Right.
So where does the famous Lacey Stone like to go on vacation?
I mean, I love vacationing. I love going to different places. Some places that I like a beach.
Yeah.
Because I am tired.
Yeah.
And there's protons, electrons. People are happy at the beach because of the energy that the water gives, and the sun actually is good for your health. So I love that. And then I love like Italy and Paris and all that. I want to go to Nice again. I love it there.
Yeah. I was just in Monaco.
Yeah.
I love that whole area.
Just going to places you've never been before. I've never been to I have been to Thailand. I mean Tibet.
Tibet.
I want to go there, and I've never been to Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go to Australia. You have to let me know when you go.
I want to go to Australia.
I have a good core group of friends.
Well, you probably know some hotels out there.
I probably know a few. Yeah, I can probably help you out.
I heard you're the hotel boss.
The hotel boss. Yeah. Well, Lacey, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I think it's very inspirational watching what you continue to grow and evolve in. I know we've known each other for more than a decade. Yes, I said it. But it's really interesting to see where you've come from just being a trainer at Equinox and grown into this person. And now I think it's even more inspiring hearing how you were the chubby kid that was eating alone and built a empire that you have, a fitness empire and a business. And you're making an impression on so many different people. And I think that your intent is in the right place. I think you're an amazing woman and honestly just blessed to have you in my life. So thank you so much for having you here and being a part of the podcast.
Thank you for saying those kind things.
I mean it. It's true.
I've since I met you, you're a good guy, and I feel the same way about you.
Oh, all right. Shall we get a workout in?
Let's do it.
And that's a wrap for today's business class. Enjoy today's podcast? Feel free to leave a review on iTunes or share this episode with a friend. Want more Hotel Boss in your life? Who doesn't? Subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram. Simply look up @The Hotel Boss. Until next time, Hotel Boss out!